Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. When the 3 new Sheriff's Patrol SUVs are put in service by Hopkins County Sheriff's deputies, the level of law enforcement will add another layer of diversity for the county, according to Sheriff-elect Lewis Tatum. The new Pursuit SUVs were approved Monday by Hopkins County Commissioner's Court, but Tatum told KSST News that the new SUVs will be police pursuit vehicles and therefore better prepared for the task of police work. He stated that the 3 new vehicles will be assigned to supervisors and members of the SWAT team to afford better preparation for immediate need. Not only will the vehicles be equipped with pursuit brakes, alternators, and other high-quality parts that will take the wear and tear of pursuit work, they will also provide better storage for equipment needed in the field. Tatum stated that Deputy Tanner Crump has done his homework to find the best quality, efficient storage, and lowest price, allowing, as Tatum called it, more bang for the buck. The SUVs will carry equipment that will provide a faster response to investigation at the crime scene, said Tatum. He said officers have stored needed items in toolboxes in the back of current pickups used by the Sheriff's Office. He called the SUVs better equipped to store and protect the instruments and items needed for investigation in the field. Tatum stated that the department will continue to use pickups as well. He said the pickups assist in transporting recovered items such as those taken in burglaries. Utilizing the pickups will mean not having to pay impound or storage fees on recovered items that would need to await a means of transport back to Hopkins County or to the Sheriff's Office. Farm work also necessitates the use of pickups. The Sheriff's Office recent gardening venture and the raising of hogs on county land for meals at the jail necessitate the use of pickups. Tatum said that in the future, the department will be purchasing pursuit-equipped pickups as well.
It's time again for the Worldwide Photo Walk, and the Sulphur Springs Downtown Business Alliance is a 7-year sponsor of this local event. Anyone can enter the photo walk, and it is free. It's this Saturday, October 1st, and to give us details, Mr. Perry Altenbaumer dropped by to explain the photo walk.
This is our 7th time.
Wow.
We missed 1 year for scheduling reasons, but this is the number 7.
So the 7th annual Worldwide Photo Walk, our version in Sulphur Springs.
Yes, and it's been going on more years than 7, but
Okay.
we've been a part of it for that long.
Okay, we became aware of it, and it's been great for amateur photographers.
For amateur photographers or photographer wannabes, because we will have a guide with us who makes a living taking photos, and he's going to answer questions and give us pointers.
Okay.
And it's free.
That's a lovely part of it.
It's free.
You know, people, it's such a joy to get a good photograph and be able to share that with people, and it's worlds easier now. Of course, we have Facebook and all other ways to share photos.
Much easier. You and I remember the days when you had to buy film and roll it into your camera, and you didn't know what kind of photo you'd taken until after it had been processed.
And after you'd paid for it, of course.
And in the meantime, you got to set your focus and your f-stop and your distance and all that. And nowadays, with modern cameras, you just point and shoot. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
I was going to say, there's undoubtedly got to be more photos taken now than ever before.
Absolutely.
Because people are with their cameras and their cell phones and smartphones are just taking them all the time.
Well, a lot of us say, you can tell what lineup you were in the number of children in your family by how many photos there are of you. And I was down the line.
So there weren't many photos made of you.
Not very many. My sister, she's in everything. And I remember Mother had one of those box cameras that you would hold kind of almost along your stomach area and look down into. And your subject would be standing out there.
And don't move, because it's not a fast shutter.
And then, when I was a teenager, a swinger camera came out. Do you remember that?
I do not, no.
And you got to process your own. It came out, the camera kind of shot the little piece of paper out, and then you had to wipe it with this solution.
Polaroid land camera was another name for that.
Yeah. Boy, we've come a long way.
And these modern cameras are great. But our guide will help us with lighting and telling us where to stand to get a better shot and what time of day, because of the sun. If the sun's too high over you, it's going to cast shadows on your face, and how to crop. So we'll get a lot of insights. And he's there to walk with us through the complete walk.
Will it be downtown?
It's going to be start downtown. We're going to meet at 9 o'clock at Plain and Fancy.
Okay.
She's going to open a little early to let us come in there. And we're going to start out, and the guide is going to give us a few little principles and tell us what the plan is. We're going to walk around the square most of an hour, somewhere around downtown. And then we're going to catch the trolley on this regular route, and the trolley is going to carry us to Heritage Park. And we're going to stay there another 45 minutes or an hour maybe and take pictures of the Dutch oven cooking. Betsy Ross is going to be there telling us about making the flag. There's going to be candle making and different things going on at the park. So we'll have a lot of opportunity to shoot some good photos out there of period costumes and those old buildings. And then we'll ride the trolley back downtown and be dismissed.
Okay, and beautiful weather for it because Saturday's supposed to be great.
It's going to be a good day.
What about if all you have is the camera on your cell phone?
That's fine.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, in past years, some of the winners have been on cell phone cameras.
Well, tell me then, to stay in the rules, to comply with the rules of the Worldwide Photo Walk, if you take a picture, can you fix it, brighten it?
Yes, you can alter it, and you can do anything like that you want to it. We're going to take these photos October 1st, like we said, and then on Friday the 7th, by Friday the 7th, if you choose to submit yours, you submit them to an email address.
Okay.
And they'll be given that Saturday morning when they gather together. And then and you'll submit your 3 best. So you can take as many shots as you want and submit your 3 best. And then the following week, judges will choose a first, second, and third. And then they'll choose 3 honorable mentions. And then on Saturday the 15th, which I believe is the same as the parade day, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at City Hall, we'll have a reception, and we'll announce the winners and give them their prizes.
Wonderful. Well, who sponsors this Worldwide Photo Walk in Sulphur Springs?
The Downtown Business Alliance.
Naturally.
And we've done it for all these years that it's happened here.
Okay. All right. Well, there's been some wonderful photos, and I think we've seen them in various ways. I remember one year at the farmer's market, one of the farmers and his hands were in the picture. He looked like he needed really to use some heavy lotion, but he didn't.
And it made a great photo.
It did.
It was one of the winners. I don't remember if it was first place that year or not.
Yeah, things like that. Small moments caught on camera.
And some architectural pieces off of some of those old buildings have been winners. So we don't know what the photographer's eye will see, but whatever they see and shoot, then one of those will be our winners. Oh, and we have 3 prizes. Texas Art and Frame on Church Street is given a gift. The Gourmet Kitchen and Company on Main Street is given a gift, and the Redneck Bar and Grill is given a gift card for meals.
So these are the prizes.
These are the prizes for first, second, and third.
Okay.
And then there'll be 3 honorable mentions.
Well, it'll be a local honor, to have your photo chosen. And all of this is just on a local basis.
Just on the local basis. It's kind of like a workshop. You would go and you would be there with I don't guess we could call him an instructor, a guide, or leader, but he's there just to answer questions and give pointers.
Okay.
So you can go away with whatever information you can glean from him.
Well, the lovely thing about photography is that you can spend all your life continuing to perfect what you do.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I think so. I've hardly taken a baby step into the first part of it, but I like taking pictures.
Yeah, and as you spend your whole life doing it, and your health fails maybe, and you can't get around quite as well, you can still do it. Maybe I shouldn't say this on air, but Joe McCorkle, who has a breathing issue, was our winner a couple of years ago. He was there with his little oxygen tank, hardly able to walk, but he sat on a bench and took pictures around the Veterans Memorial, and he was our winner.
Wow.
And not really able to be out and walk the walk,
Right.
but he was able to come to the event.
That is
So
very
anyone can do it, at any age, anyone that wants to.
Well, now, other members of the Downtown Business Alliance may be along for this.
Yes, there'll be some members of the Alliance to welcome the group and walk with them, and then the guide will be there to walk with us and ride the trolley and walk with us out at the park. And we won't really stay together as a group. We'll disperse and say, we're going to walk around this block, but be back over here in time to catch a trolley at about a certain time. And
well, it may be a minor detail, but to get into Heritage Park, I think it's $3.
that's right. And they have waived that $3 fee for us.
Well.
If you're with the group, they've waived the fee for this event, so they know we're going to come in and walk and take pictures. Of course, if we want to eat, we still have to buy a plate of food, but they're going to be nice to us. And
that is a nice consideration. And, of course, the Dutch oven cooking will be going on in there, too.
yeah, and so there'll be pictures of the smoke rising and some of the cooks in costume. And just looking at all that equipment and all those Dutch ovens are making lots of good pictures, all on the open fires blazing.
Well, I think also the pointers that you will get from the professional photographer on.
And from each other. So we'll be talking to each other at the same time.
Well, Worldwide Photo Walk, the Sulphur Springs chapter of it, I guess we'd say. And actually, it will be going on everywhere on October 1st.
All over the world. Most of them probably are in the U.S., but there's quite a few of them in Africa. We have a local photographer here that's going to one in Big Bend that is led by a photographer that works for the state of Texas as their photographer for maps and posters and such. And he only takes a few students each year. So we have one of our local people is getting to be one of those students. She'll be out there October 1 on that photo walk.
Fabulous.
So it goes on everywhere.
Well, so get ready for Saturday, this coming Saturday. Be downtown at Plain and Fancy.
Plain and Fancy at 9 o'clock. And we won't be in there but just a few minutes, just for our leader to say, this is kind of the plan that we're going to do. And then we'll start the walk and start shooting and start talking and enjoying each other, enjoying the good weather.
Well, it's free, it's educational, it's entertaining.
It's fun.
Interesting, fun, and you may win prizes.
You may win prizes.
Meet new friends. And Plain and Fancy is owned by someone who is in the Downtown Business Alliance.
Yes, there are. I looked last night on the web. There are 45 members of the Downtown Business Alliance. And of course, we try to keep things going and keep vitality and energy going on downtown, and it's working, because you and I can remember when it was more or less a ghost town after 5 p.m. every day.
Well, and that's no longer true.
No.
Let's say about a few more things that DBA has planned. I think there's a fall decorating contest.
It's a fall decorating contest going on just about now, I think, and will be judged a little bit later on. And then November the 5th is the Hot Rod Car Show. There's a pumpkin on the
tasting.
15th is a
recipe.
pumpkin cooking and tasting, and that's going to be fun.
On the 15th. Again, that's
I believe that's the 5th, the same day as the parade and this.
right. Well, our October is going to be full. Everybody's October is.
This is
we
a
got
busy time.
Fall festival right in the middle of it, from the 15th to the 23rd. And back on the decorating contest for businesses and residential, they want everyone to leave their decorations up so that everybody can
enjoy them.
Right, all the way through Fall Festival and Car Show.
The people that can leave them up, yes.
So let's get downtown, let's get out and about, let's meet new friends and find, interesting things to do, especially when they're free. There's nothing better than that, Mr. Perry.
When they're free and when now that the weather's going to cooperate and we can get out and enjoy it, let's do it.
Okay. We will see you Saturday at the Worldwide Photo Walk downtown Sulphur
Okay,
Springs.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Perry, for coming in this morning.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
I had my weekly visit with Wildcats offensive coordinator Matt Young on Tuesday morning, and we discussed the Pine Tree win and the Marshall defense that the Wildcats will see Friday at the Prim.
It was a great win for these kids. Great to see it on their faces. It's been a while for a district win, and they've earned it. They really met expectations that night. We went in feeling good about what we should accomplish and did it. And it's great seeing that hard work pay off. It's great them seeing just verification in what they're doing, and it's exciting to see how this can keep going forward. It was a good night across the board. We handled some adversity. We got put in some long situations. Gideon Gregory, outstanding center for us, big deal with the success we had running the ball. Had some bad snaps, put us in a bind, but we were able to come back with some big plays followed up behind that with the receivers, running backs, quarterbacks. So just really pleased how they handled things, being down 14-0, kind of walking around seeing sad faces. And being able to handle it in a hurry, handle it the right way. Great addition having Tyrese Peters back at receiver. He had a big night with his 3 catches going all for touchdowns. Simeon Taylor continues to do what he does on the outside, and Ryan had a really efficient night. So just good things. Really just happy overall, just happy for a win for these guys.
Yeah, you'd have seen Ryan throw the ball better than that, 15 out of 19. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty solid. Actually, that's kind of how he is. The big deal is just him being confident in his throws and where he's going. He's a really accurate quarterback. Right now we're continuing to work on just ability to stay in the pocket and trust the guys in front of him and continue to improve in that area. He knows his front shoulder gets off a little bit, he misses, and really he's a highly accurate quarterback if you watch him throw. He doesn't just miss. If he does, it's a little thing and it's a little bit off where he can make the catch an easier catch. And so exciting to see how he's continued to progress, and there's a lot on his plate. We ask a lot of him in our passing game and our run game and how he distributes the ball. And the guys up front did a great job the other night. I think he took one hit, and it was after he left the pocket. Gregory and Darrow and English and Green and Rogers and rolling in some Olivo and some Pierce, and those guys really took it on themselves last week. We challenged those guys. They're a big part of our team, and for us to be successful, they got to be successful. And they had a great week, and it showed up on Friday with how they protected in the passing game and also in the run game.
It was kind of perfect in a way because there were a great number of things that went right, a lot of points, all that. But yet, you can say, look at that, look at that, look at that. It wasn't a perfect night.
Oh, no, it was great on Saturday when we watched film with them to point out the things that we could actually be better. We could have had our 49 points maybe in the first half instead of taking the entire game to get there. And those kind of things are paid with a really good pace, but there still was a couple of false start penalties or a holding penalty. There was a drop here or a drop there. There was a cut here or a cut there, or decision making or a slide in the pocket. And the great thing about these kids, this is what they've been taking, is that constructive criticism and trying to go out each day and get just 1% better at what they're doing, just a little bit better. Each day there's guys staying after practice working on one thing. Last week, it was neat. Calvin Eckert had 3 great catches. He had 2 in one drive to start the second half. First time this year we've scored on the opening drive of the second half. And the route he caught twice was a route that was his grind last week. He and Ryan stayed after, and he caught about 20 of those each day. And it was neat for them to say it afterwards. They go, hey, Coach, there was that grind. There was that time we put in, and it paid off. And so that's neat to see those kids understand that commitment level, those things they're doing, and seeing it pay off.
How's Marshall on defense?
Oh, they're extremely talented. They're big up front. They're explosive. They got, I won't say every guy they have will hit you, but they have a large number get after you. Some guys extremely aggressive. They got a very sound scheme in what they're doing. Their coaches do a great job and put their guys in position to be successful. And we got our hands full. We got to continue to improve off last week. We're really talking to our guys about just being consistent. We've kind of been a roller coaster offensively. We'll have a good week, we'll have a bad week. We'll have a good week, have a bad week. So we're really looking this week just to turn around and go play again, play well. Definitely a challenging opponent. Their D-line inside, Gideon and Darrow and English got their hands full. They're facing a challenge this week to do things right, or they'll get knocked backwards or knocked down. Same thing on the outside. If we're going to be open, we got to run good routes. So it's a challenging week for our guys, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
I have a feeling Marshall's not a 1-4 team.
No, they've played some extremely talented teams. One of their losses is Longview, which I know everybody here has a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
They played a school out of Louisiana that's extremely talented. We turned it on the film, and we thought we saw a small college. And then they also play Tyler Lee, which is a 6A program that's winning this year. And I'm trying to think of one of their win was obviously against Corsicana, and the other loss was T.I., who's rocking and rolling right now. So they hadn't been playing a bunch of just walkovers and had some bad nights. They've been playing high-quality opponents and getting after and improving as a team, and it'll be a great challenge for us Friday at the Prim.
They're 0-1. They don't want a second loss. They're going to play at a high level, I would assume.
Yeah, we're expecting their best, without a doubt. They've had a great run the last couple of years in district, and so it's a great measuring stick for us. We think they're one of the top teams in the district, and so it's great to see where we're at.
I talked with Wildcats defensive coordinator Tristan Abram Tuesday morning. He explained how his defense turned things around in the Pine Tree win, and we discussed trying to slow down the Marshall offense, led by perhaps the district's most dynamic player, Marshall's Cameron Holler, who the Wildcats will be seeing Friday night.
We realized after that third series that our game plan that we had in place for those guys, our kids just weren't playing. They weren't playing fast. It was like we were unsure what we wanted to do and how we were supposed to do it. And then, believe it or not, we scrapped that game plan after the third series. My call sheet that I had in my hand, I did not look at it again. And we just went to our base defense, and we went to our automatics and our adjustments to whatever an offense gives us out of our base front. And believe it or not, we played shut down defense for three quarters for the most part. And we had a hiccup obviously in the second half in that first series, but I was really excited to see our kids come out and make that type of adjustment. We've never done that before. We've never made a big, blown full-out adjustment like that to just say, okay, hey, what we've practiced over all week, we're not doing that anymore. And man, it was great to see the kids, show up. Lights came on, and here we go. We're flying to the football, creating turnovers, and just really getting after them. So hats off to the kiddos. Hats off to the defensive staff. Those guys did a great job of honestly convincing me, Coach, that hey, let's get away from this and let's do what we do. And sure enough, it worked, and it was really good.
I was trying to remember who impressed Coach Owens. He mentioned DeIdrick Dugan, Cameron Cooks, and also Terrell Turman.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure he didn't get everybody, right, that played really well for you?
Right. You have to mention Easton Silman did a great job. Their O-line, they did a good job. They're big. They did a good job of getting to our backers. And Easton and Jackson Renault did a good job of just trying to maintain and scrape and run and get by those big guys whenever they were trying to run at us. And then whenever they would try to get outside of us, those guys had to run and get to the football outside of them. So those two guys I think deserve to be mentioned as well. Haven Tennyson, he did a good job of getting after the quarterback. We put a little package in where we would put Cameron Cooks outside at the end and put Haven at nose, and Haven has never done that before. He's gone interiorly, and he handled his own. He did a great job in there.
You mentioned Jackson Renault, and it seemed like we talk about just about everybody else on the defense, but you look up at the end of the day, and he leads in tackles for you.
Yeah. And
so he's always around the ball.
He is always around the ball. And, one thing about Jackson that we kid about and we make jokes about in the coach's office, for the most part, if anyone wants to run a running back screen against us, Jackson has pretty much shown that you can't do that against us because for whatever reason, he seems to always be around the ball. As a matter of fact, when we were in Florida, that's the interception that he got. They were trying to run a running back screen. I'm really pleased with the way Jackson is playing. He played last year as a sophomore, and you can just see how he's progressed and he's grown, and he's turning into a pretty good football player. So he's doing a great job. Again, he and heck, Jay Hall and KJ Abram, those guys come in to spell Easton and Jackson, and I think Coach Chris Owens is doing a great job with those guys. They all of those guys do. They come in and they know their assignment and their duties, and they execute them. So I'm really pleased with honestly just the entire defensive effort. They all played with passion and enthusiasm. We're down 14-0, and they don't quit. I can't continue to interview without mentioning a goal line stance that we made that was just critical. Yeah. That could have been really, really bad if they scored, but we challenged them, and guys, hey, this is what big time games are about. And sure enough, they go out and they make the stop, and I mean it was extremely exciting, and to see our kids play with that type of emotion and that type of passion it's great. And if we continue to do that, I think things are going to continue to work out well for us.
If you've ever seen Mission Impossible, You know, and that guy gets the information and everything. So, Mr. Abram, your task, should you choose, and you will, is to stop Cameron Holler this week. The best running back in the district.
The best running back in the district, and I hope I don't offend anyone, but in my opinion, he's the MVP of the district again. I'll vote for him again. This young man is unbelievable. I mean, the most patient individual with a football in his hands. I've never seen it before. I'm telling you, it's like everything's collapsing around him, and he's not going to panic. He's going to wait for something to open, and when it does, he's gone. And he just does a great job of running the football. He has great vision. I mean, you can go on, and I'll tell you, you know, I mean, he's going to Texas A&M to play baseball, but heck, I think he could go to college and play football if he wants to. He's just that good. So we have to respect him, and we have to be aware of him. We got to know where he is at all times when he's on the football field, because he's a threat. I mean, I've seen him line up at quarterback, obviously. He lines up at running back. I was watching a game where they put him as a slot receiver once, you know, so he's one of those kids that you can put him anywhere. Heck, put him at O-line, you know, and he's going to do a good job just because he's a competitor and he's just that athletic. So he's a force to be reckoned with, and we have to be aware of him and, you know, and try to limit, you know, what his damage that he can do, because he can do damage. You know, it's a given. Heck, if you were able to see the Texas High game, you can see that in that game. Texas High has a remarkable defense, and he put on a little show against them, for lack of better words. But you know, our job is to go out and attempt to corral him and slow him down as much as we possibly can. You know, if when it comes to them scoring, we got to make other people score. We can't allow him to score, and that's our goal. Is if you make other people score and beat us that way. But we have to be aware of where he is at all times, because he is that threatening.
What else do they have?
Oh man, their offensive line. They're huge. I talked about Pine Tree's O-line last week. Well, these guys are just as big, and just to be quite honest, they're more athletic. They do a great job of coming off the ball, and they just will engulf you. They will swallow you up. So we got to do a great job of coming off the ball. You know, just holding our own, trying to maintain our gaps, try to allow our backers to run, and again. Eliminate space for Holler, whoever the other running backs are, or even they have some slot receivers that can fly that they'll run, you know, fire sweeps to. So we have to do a good job of just trying to hold our own, eliminate space, and do a good job of tackling. You know, again, this is one of those offenses that you can't say, hey, we're going to stop them. Okay, it's just you can't stop them, but you can do everything you can to slow them down and try to get the ball back to your offense so that they can go do their job and get the ball in the end zone. But with that being said, you know, again, their O-line's really good. They have some slot receivers that are really good, and they have actually a couple of running backs that they'll also put back there besides Holler that they can do their own thing. So you know, they're an offense that's I mean they're pretty high ranked in the district stats, I believe, so far. So it is to go without saying that they're pretty good.
Now, I believe they lost their quarterback that they'd had for 3 or 4 years, so they're breaking in a new guy back there.
Yes, they are. And he's you know, he's actually stepped right in. Obviously, the young man that played the past 4 years, because I cannot remember his name for Hart. You're exactly right. Mm-hmm. He was a 4-year player for him, so obviously as each year went, he got better. And this young man stepping in, he's not as good right now, but you know that's to go as expected. But he can handle his own, and he does a great job. They do a lot of RPOs, the run pass options, where they have a run play called, and he does a great job of seeing where your secondary is, and he'll fake the run and throw it out there to those receivers that are uncovered. So we have to do a good job of making sure that, you know, whenever that does happen, that we're running to the football, making a tackle on those guys, and hopefully we can, you know, do a good job of trying to make it hard on him to know what we're doing, so that he can't hurt us that way. But they do a great job offensively. Their coaches do a great job schematically, and they make it tough on a defense.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.